Thanks, man. Nikita.
I did not raise 700 million,
I thought you did
but
personally.
Perk did. Yes.
It's nice. It's nice. Trying to connect with the last panel and AI and all those things, no? So just to finalize, I'm doing some translation,
Yes,
Catalan to English. Like there is a world of, let's say, enanitos where everything is gonna be automatic. You're gonna see a URL and you're gonna select and boom, it's gonna show up. I don't know, whenever you show up, everything is gonna be frictionless and everything's beautiful and fairy tales and unicorns. How close are we from that?
I do believe in magic.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're playing. So I think in business travel and B2B in particular, it is slightly different and we're a little bit farther. There's a way in which I think the limitation isn't the technology itself necessarily. I think a lot of that can be done.
Yeah.
In business, it's what is the appetite and are we or the customers actually ready for that to happen? It's also worth remembering that we've heard this before. Right?
Oh yeah, many times.
We've heard this before with every new technological introduction, that frictionless, seamless, it's all going to happen. And we're in this moment that I think at this point we've all seen where it's like there's a proliferation of tools. We saw it with SaaS, right? We saw it with cloud, proliferation of all these tools. Everyone is trying everything. And then what you start to see is the consolidation because people become really, really overwhelmed, frankly, by the choices and also very quickly see the limitations, right, of their abilities with the new technology. And that's where I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. The problem, I mean, thank God you are American, no? But in Europe, we have an amount of regulations that is, I'm going to tell you why it cannot work from a legal standpoint, okay? So frictionless, you do your booking and you show up in the property and the unicorn, you're riding it. But somebody's going to say, hey, hold on, what is your ID? And you said, no, technology, frictionless. And I say, yeah, but bring me the ID. And then you're going to reply, because legally you're going to say, you, guy, lady, you cannot ask for ID unless you're a policeman. They're going to say, yeah, give me your ID. You're going to say, no, because I did everything on the cloud and on the... They're going to say, yeah, give me your ID. So here is, I mean, I tried to make the most basic, but you don't give your ID, you don't have a check-in. Yeah, and tell me now how the technology is going to sort it out. Okay, so it's as simple as that. I gave you one example. We can talk about going to the airport and saying, again, you riding your unicorn there, and say, I'm going to go straight to the plane. Do you want to try? I love it.
Yeah.
The problem are humans. It's never technology. Technology is simple, but there are humans, you know? So we can all ride unicorns, but the humans doing the laws in Europe, wow, impossible. That's why I think it's impossible. It's not a technology problem. Yeah. It's a human problem. Yeah.
There are parts of it, though. So I hear you.
Yeah.
On the extreme, you're not going to just ride your unicorn straight onto the airplane.
Yeah.
But there are parts of it that you can do. So a lot of the product that we're building is what are the different components of this entire experience that we can make better, that we can make more seamless. So we can check whether or not you have the right visas just by understanding your ID. We do know on the business side, like if you're in or outside of policy, we can detect all of that ahead of time. We can give you what's above, below. We can give insight to whoever's the admin that's going to approve it, whether or not it's like, we have all of that, but it really is in making different components of the entire journey easier. We are a bit away from just riding onto the airplane.
Yeah, I mean, one direct example, and again, it's not technology, but it's connected to what you're saying, okay? So I'm working for a company that's working with TravelTech, so obviously they have my ID, okay? So they have my ID, and I book a flight ticket, okay? Give me my check-in. Simple, right? Simple, give me my check-in. Did it ever work? Any of you? Did you ever got your QR code and said, okay, I go, I book, and boom, it comes to me. Should be simple. I'm still not riding the unicorn. I'm saying, give me my QR code. Simple. And it's not a technology. It's like you need to give it to the airline, that the airline needs to connect, if I'm flying to America in that case, to the police in America. And it's like...
I mean, I think about that, and I was only reading the previous conversation in translation, so I might have missed stuff.
Sorry for that.
But some of it is there are, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. There are ways, again, to make parts of this
Yeah.
simpler.
If we want, yes.
If we want to.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is still determined by the individual at the end of it. So, even the tech that we're using now, we're launching our MCP, we're making a lot of decisions that you can make autonomously, and we could use our agents to do it.
Yeah.
But there's still a human that wants to press the button. Yeah. And I think that's going to happen for a long time, especially in businesses. So it is more about how do we give you all the information, all the data that you need, so you have to make fewer decisions. So while we might not be able to do the entire thing, we do know on the business side, if you've been using the product for a while, we know a lot about you. And so a lot of it is how do we use that data in a smart way? So we know where you likely go if you're in Paris. We know where you're going to stay. When I go to Boston, it's very clear which hotel I'm going to stay at. It's 5 minutes from the office. We know if it's an aisle seat. We know that the hotel needs a gym. And we can actually pre-populate all of that much more seamlessly than we've been able to do before. So we can get very close. Yeah. And then a human needs to press the button if they choose.
I love it. And then until here was my negative side. No? But now on the opportunity, right? So I am in Boston, right? And I know I'm going to be there for 14th to 17th of July in Boston. So you know it because you're TravelTech, and I book a flight and I book a hotel. Okay, now in theory, I'm not even talking about AI. Imagine we do it manually, but you could know what else am I going to do. Shall I eat? Shall I visit? I've never been there. Shall I do a visit to Harbor or whatever you do up there? So it's like, in theory, is there. How is the current technology helping there, and how is it evolving?
Yeah, so some of what we're working on, for instance, while a lot of businesses aren't ready to do everything in their AI tool yet, we are building ways to do that in product. So if you're in Slack or if you're in Teams and you're talking about a trip, you can actually see whatever, pick the dates. I'm going to Boston on August 15th to the 18th. And it says, here are the options. Here's the hotel. You click on a link and you can go. So that technology is there. That's kind of what we're working on now. And I think it's again, it's not the technological limitation. It's one, how quickly can we do it? And two, to what extent are customers actually ready for it? So in a lot of the research that we've done now, and so much from the customer perspective has changed in the past 3 months, 6 months. So before, the answer was no way. They're like, no one we want in Europe in particular. We want to be able to toggle on and off AI. And you're like, well, that sounds like a misunderstanding about how this product works. And now that's less the case. They're like, we don't want to toggle it on and off, but please let us know when you're using it. And you're like, well, we need to do some education about, is it AI or is it just we're using the data that's always been there smartly, and that's actually a better experience for you. So I think there's a big up-leveling and understanding that I think we need to do, especially with our customers, about what's actually possible and where there are moments to make those decisions. But for us, it's kind of the technology is there. So a lot of what we're doing is how do we build the platform and the architecture for when our customers are ready, and they will be ready, right, to actually be able to do it more quickly.
Good. Changing completely speeds here. You are where you are as Perk, right? So how do you decide at your scale, that is not the same as some of the startups here, what's next? So especially, when do you decide to invest in evolving the product? And when do you say, okay, this is kind of done, and we're going to go big with a new launch? And how do you decide to do those big bets, especially?
Ooh, that's a good question. There are a few. So travel is our core. So still our bread and butter. And frankly, while we've been around for 10 years at this point, 11 years, there's still a lot to do in travel, and it is always evolving. So this idea of like being done, I think products, no matter what stage, are always evolving, and you do need to continuously make big bets in them. Like if we didn't change the product right now, we would fall very quickly behind because the technology's changed, user preference has changed. So there's always the maintain core platform, but there always make big bets along the way.
So this you need to keep investing.
Always. I think it's an always. And the other is also investing with speed. So one of the things we were talking about, this idea that when you're a startup, it's all about speed and shipping quickly, and then that changes. I don't think it ever changes. Like, speed is always the name of the game. Shipping better product faster is always the name of the game, and it does get harder as you scale. And then it's how do we put the processes, bad words in place so that people can make those bets. One way to think about it on the product side is we do have platform teams, and then we have growth teams. And so we have some growth folks who they're always thinking about what's the next big bet? How can we ship it and learn quickly? And there are platform teams that are more, how do we make sure that everything we build can be scaled and is scalable? So we have both in mind at the same time. And then there's more. So that's the core product. And then there's the, and then what do we do in a highly competitive, in some ways saturated market? If we want to get to being, a $1 billion company or obviously multi-billion that lasts 100 years, this idea of being a single platform in this market, that doesn't really work anymore. So what you've seen us do over the past 18 months, becoming multi-product platform, travel and spend, travel, spend, and events. We have a couple more kind of in incubation that we're working on right now as big bets, is this idea that all of the stuff is happening in the market around, I think y'all were talking about consolidation earlier. What are the acquisitions that people are making to expand their product and grow? That's always top of mind. And from the product perspective, the way we look at that is who's the core user? So if you think of travel, spend, events, whatever comes next, it's still the same ideal customer profile. It's people traveling or spending money on behalf of the company. It's admins, it's the office of the CFO, anyone in a company that has to handle money. It's the same users with just different and tangential problems they're trying to solve.
Two separate questions. One is, imagine you got 100 heads and you need to allocate towards maintain platform, but there is evolution. But we need to evolve and launch new things. So you can tell me 50-50, but how do you decide to go bigger on one side or to, because whatever you do, your platform is dragging towards innovation, but it's not drag, it is what's paying the party, right? So
I think whether you are super early startups, and I spent a bit of my career at early stage startups as well, or at this scale and beyond.
So tell them some of those startups so they understand.
Sorry.
So they understand.
So prior to Perk, I worked at a marketplace called The Knot. I've also spent 5 years at Trello and Atlassian. I led Trello product at Trello for 5 years during the Atlassian acquisition as well. So Trello as a startup. I joined Trello when Trello was under 60 people. I joined there to build out their enterprise business ahead of the acquisition from Atlassian. So I've been through that. I did super early stage startups with a company called Pixable in New York City, actually by a Spanish founder as well. I did a stint in startups in London and Shanghai earlier in my career, a lot of it in ed tech. So I've seen the stage, and I've also spent a lot of time investing as well. In investing, advising early stage companies. That being said, this idea of what's the ratio, there should always, from my perspective, be some subset focused on the core platform and scaling it always. When you're a startup, maybe it's 15%, 20%.
On new?
No, on platform.
15 maintaining, 85
yes,
betting.
build, bet. And now I always think that all groups should have, it's somewhere between 80-20, 70-30 on new versus maintenance. I think we've all gotten to the stage at some point where we haven't invested in maintenance and platform, and it catches up to you, and then you have this tension
so the tech
that needs
debt,
to be resolved. The tech debt is
pay.
real. You always need to pay that down over time. And then you get magical moments like the one we're all in, where actually we can pay down tech debt using AI in a real substantial way, and that's amazing. That's very different from where we were, I'd say, 15 years ago.
So both, if you were, let's say, 15-85, 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, what you're telling me is two things. One, I suppose it's not 10 and 10, but every time it keeps growing, so there is more people innovating, but the ratio of innovation is moving towards maintaining and defending the castle. So the problem is the bigger you are, the bigger is your castle, and let's go out there hunting, but you need to, and your innovation?
It depends. Right now in industry, we should all be hunters. Right?
Totally.
Things are changing so quickly that I think every company should be thinking about what are the big bets. So for us, a lot of the big bet obviously is expanding. We have our spend and expense management, we have cards, we have events, we have a couple of things in incubation. Everyone needs to do that because the cost of building is lower. Where I think there's a lot of magic in the folks that have started, whether it's now, is you can build a lot of things faster, but this idea of go-to-market, and scale is something that we're thinking about a lot at Perk, because that's still the battle. You can build as much as you want. If you haven't figured out how to distribute it, how to grow it within the customer base from the go-to-market perspective, then you can build. Build isn't the same as actually getting folks on board.
But it's a risky business too.
It is. That's why we're in it.
Yes. And when do you say stop it? Just buy those guys.
That's always tricky. I went to business school, and I don't know that it was particularly valuable overall, but there were a few things that I remember, besides my friends. And one was this idea, like, most acquisitions fail.
Yeah.
Hands down.
By the way, most innovation also fails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? But people still make the bet. But it does need to be really, really targeted. So what's the framework for we're willing to make that bet based on some level of confidence? We've all seen some matrix of how we make these decisions. For us, I think we've done it very, very strategically. So our Amtrav acquisition in 2024, Amtrav is a travel tech company in the US, well-respected, really strong, great product, known in the US, was a great way for us to, one, start expanding into the US. It gave us a lot of the subject matter expertise that we needed, a lot of the tech, right?
But that's kind of plug
we
and play,
needed.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, great. That's for us to learn and expand in that market, and I think that's been going very well. But we also made the decision to keep it separate. So we learned a lot from them as we grew Perk in the US, but Amtrav still operates in a more niche market there, and that was very targeted and I think very successful. Our spend acquisition was a little bit different.
The platform before that, you integrated the platform?
No, we did not integrate.
Not the platform also?
We did not integrate the Amtrav platform. It still operates independently.
Okay.
But for accelerating our understanding and what else we'd build on our platform in the US, it was massive, and that continues.
But our friends from McKinsey would say that there are no synergies and funky words like that. No?
I mean,
I don't know. I'm asking.
Sure. Consulting is different from consulting
here,
is different from operating.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So you do still have to make bets.
It's great and
the
expensive
spreadsheets,
advice.
The spreadsheet doesn't always make sense, and you have to do it anyway. That's just the way of things.
Yeah.
We also acquired a company called Yokoi, which is our spend platform, and that we have fully integrated into the platform. And what's really cool about these bets, we went all in on it. We said we are going to expand into this new product line. It is going to be an integrated part of the business. And we started building that integration even before we closed.
In that second case?
In that second case, which is like high level of conviction that we're going to do this, and we want to do it as quickly as possible. So we were willing to make the bet that it was all going to work out by putting some resources in it. McKinsey probably wouldn't have advised that either, but that's the bet we made, and I think it was the right one. And so it allowed us to accelerate shipping and launching this product in under a year.
I'm wondering, what are you buying here? Team, obviously, technology, no, because you did, so you integrate. So what are the synergies?
Yeah, on the spend side, on the spend product, that we have fully integrated that. It is now part of a platform.
Good.
So
now it's part of Perk.
Now it's part of Perk.
Lovely.
It is part of Perk. It is one user experience. We're still, obviously, as we all know, integrations take a long time and platforms develop. So that's still happening, but it's there. We have customers using both travel and spend on a single platform. Great. So we integrated the technology. We also integrated the people. The head of product on the spend side is the founder, co-founder of that. We work well together and all of it. So that's happening. We then also moved Perk engineers and product people onto spend. We moved from spend onto Perk because this, how do we bridge the culture and differences is a real thing. Good learnings there. Always. So that was a true integration and a strategic bet. Thankfully, it is working, but we were also open to the fact that it might not work, but we were going to make the bet anyway.
Going back to unicorns and these kind of things, unicorns meaning the fairy tales, in that case, sorry. It's all about technology, and these days we just put an AI and it's going to do all the integration automatically, and it's beautiful, and no one is going to touch a single line. And if you do, you can code Vive, and you know all the stories, right? Why am I wrong? why it's not working? Why you guys do everything without anyone doing anything? So it's, just pay a subscription and...
Ask that question a different way.
Okay.
Ask it again.
I can buy this company and sales team is sales team. Good. But there is a product and I want to integrate that product into Perk. Good. So in a consulting guy that read a couple of blogs is going to tell you, you press one button, it's going to be fully integrated. And again, we're going to be writing unicorns. But we know, it's not going to happen because there are technological and there are product restrictions that will, unfortunately, make us work, right? Well, that's beautiful because we're still around, right? Why not? Why the technology doesn't allow to do everything automatically if theoretically it allows it? What are the roadblocks you're facing on the...
I mean, we all know that building one product is really hard.
Yeah.
So combining two products built differently by different people with different logic and different context and different documentation, it's just hard. Bringing those things together is just hard.
Yeah.
And also we're people, right? So I think what we said earlier about ultimately there is a human that needs to press a button.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with building products. We're still in a world where we need humans to work together to do things successfully. And guess what? We're not as predictable as technology can be. And so there are challenges there. I also, though, yes, we are in tech, and I believe that greatly. For us and for me, this idea of human beings coming together to build something magical is still where the magic happens for me. And also for Perk, like a lot of what we do, this idea of bringing people together.
You call it
is very
IRL,
people in real life, both to work, but also in what our platform provides is really important. And I think there's something still really incredible about that, both in the joy of working with other humans, but also with the tension and complexity that pushes you to hopefully make better hard calls. Is really important.
The way I would say that is it would astonish me that you raise 700 million and now somebody goes with a couple of scripts, they can do the same. I mean, sorry, not going to happen. So all the investment that you did, sure, some of that technology is going to evolve and change and be obsolete, right? But some of the investment that you do, the clever one at least, is going to be your natural defensive barrier, your defense mat, right? And this is going to set you apart. If anyone can do it from home, I mean,
it is, and I guess we're all in travel here. Yeah. Travel is really hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's like very complicated. It's not one integration. It's not one direct connect. It's not just flights. It's not just cars. It's like, it is incredibly complex. And it is also not just like connect to this API and things magically happen. Yeah. Right? Even in the US, for instance, getting a direct connect still take years because we know how airlines and others operate. They're fairly closed, right? So maybe there are front-end parts on the consumer side in particular that are more easy to do or replicate than others. But a lot of what you see on our product, on our products are, you see the front end and then everything underneath is where the complexity really happens.
On the back end.
It's on the back end. It's in the integrations. It is in the seamless experience. It is in the policies. It is in the duty of care. Like when you think about B2B, there's so much there that frankly has nothing to do with just booking the flight.
Yeah, and connecting to that, a lot of times it astonishes me that they say, no, I'm going to use this API and this API and this API, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Are they going to give you this API?
Yeah.
Sure, because it's, are they? I mean, now you have a big platform, a big company that invested massively in amount of technology to work. They're going to give it to you for free. Because you are handsome, obviously, and you're not gonna happen, man. Because they've been investing heavily into that, and they got one technology and another one, and they construct the combination of those three APIs are constructing other APIs or other databases, and you go there and say, nah, I'm gonna have everything for, and it's like, sorry, I mean that's where the unicorns again, and right, I mean like, no, it's not gonna happen, and even if they are obliged to give it to you legally. They will make you go slower. There will be things that will not be included on the platform for security, so they will try to restrict it. So you cannot
Yeah.
compete because that's the beauty about being a dominating monopolium platform. No one can compete,
Yeah.
guys. So it's like so in theory it works.
In theory, it
Yeah.
works. I'll also say, though, on the flip side of that,
Yeah.
and
The opportunity. Yeah.
well, the opportunity is so massive.
Yeah.
It's massive, but it's also the mentality matters as well. So as true as that is,
Yeah.
as a product person and also as a former athlete, like I always feel like there's someone right behind me
Yeah.
about to eat my lunch or pass me in the race.
But that's
And you
good.
and you need that,
That's
right?
good.
Because
Yeah.
what you're saying is it's true.
Yeah.
But whoever they are, with the right amount of ambition,
They will do it.
they will do it,
Yeah.
and they will get it done. It might take a little time,
Yeah.
but this idea that there is a window right now where you have to race,
Yeah.
as if your life and your company depends on it.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of hunger and ambition, every company should keep always.
Unfortunately, I do agree with you. The problem, if you think about Americans versus Europeans, is in America.
I don't play that game.
No, I feel more American from that standpoint, if you know what I'm going to say now. So there is an equal playing field where the Americans say, hey, we can compete, and whoever does it better is going to make more money. That's competition, right? In Europe, we're going to say we're going to compete, and whoever is going to make more money, we're going to cap them with taxes. So we all are equal, drag down. And it's like, can we compete to be better? And they say yes, to be worst. And he said, okay, but in the long run, we all will be poor, equally poor. Okay, but it's like, it's the European, and it's wrong. It's like, guys, I mean, if you come here, no one obliges you, so you are not thinking like that, right? If you know what I mean. But as a European mentality, there is this mentality like, we all should, I mean, this guy is making money. He's a bad person. We're going to drag them down. No, learn, be better, and compete. Competition is that. I like in athleticism that if we're running, you better keep running because I'm coming after you. In Europe, we will put them weight so they go slower. It's like, it's not going to work. That's why America is working. You know, it's
I will. Oh, someone.
I know this is not a Q&A, but
go,
Let's do it. I'm game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're all looking for a unicorn. We're all looking for a magical button that's going to book the travel from like end to end.
Yeah.
And at the cost of what? Data privacy, values. There's no discernment here in terms of like how we're protecting. You said we're going to take the data from Slack, from Microsoft Teams to know exactly where you want to book the restaurant and you know what you like and what you don't like. How about I'm talking about my relationship problems in a colleague, and then you take that information and you start throwing, you know, recommendations about relationship coaches, and then you have all my data and you're using that information against like I don't want, you know, the internet to know about.
Yeah.
So at what cost? That's the question.
Well, in Europe, we did a law that is impressive.
And that's why you have regulations, right?
Yeah. But
To slow down job displacement, to slow
Yeah.
down, it's there for a reason. It's not making things so much easier, but it's there to protect us.
yeah, it reminds me that
Where's the balance?
it reminds me a bit this law that they made with the buttons, right? So now everybody in Europe got a huge banner that we all need to accept. Has any of you ever read those cookies? No, sorry, it's the shittiest policy ever. I mean, the cookie, the accept the cookies is a law clearly made by politicians without, so the only thing we did is we fact everybody in this room and out there in Europe, we all need to accept everyday cookies for no fucking reason. No one ever accept those, ever. You know what I mean? So it's like those cookies, this policy, this law is clearly flawed. It's poorly executed. It's a fucking disaster. It's the definition of Europe. That's what's wrong. I'm not saying do anything illegal, but I'm saying, come on, the cookie policy. You agree with me or not? It's a disaster. It's the worst of Europe. It's proving everything we are doing wrong. Sorry if I'm a bit
Since
transparent about that.
I would like to be very explicit,
Yeah. Well, so, yeah.
which is we are a B2B company.
Yeah.
We do not implement any of these things without the consent of the companies that we work with. Like this is, we follow all the laws. So if that's European law, we're following it.
Welcome.
The companies need to accept it's there. We have administrators. We go talk to the CFOs. We talk to the chief legal officer. So just to be very clear, on the Perk B2B platform, all of that is clear and in line. Like we do that. That is very different, I think, from a lot of, in some cases, the consumer conversation you're having right now.
No, even in B2B, I'm saying, no, we all need to follow the law. I'm saying we all follow the law. We have to follow the law. I mean, unless you want to go to prison. What I'm saying is, has anyone read the actual law? That's what I'm saying. Is like, it's a disaster. I mean, to accept cookie. I mean, you could put like in The Simpsons. I mean, it's the worst ever. Do we do it? Yes. Do we have to follow the law? Yes. Is it right? No, it's a disaster. I mean, and whoever did that law, for me, they should go to jail, because if I sum the amount of hours that people is spending just approving cookies, it's unbelievable. What did they sort out? Nothing. Nothing. Definition of Europe. That's one example. I can give you 2 or 3 more, but it's like we have a problem. That's different, though, than exporting the data to other places. That's different than interchanging and giving personal data. No, I'm not saying that. That is wrong. But I'm saying cookie policy. Really? I mean, my take on it. Yeah. On B2B also.
Any other questions? Yes,
There's
there is a reject button. Yes.
But why should I even reject? I mean, just don't bother me. I mean, it's like if every time they arrive a website, I ask you, is your car well parked? Yes. It's very important, right, that your car is well parked. And every time we arrive to a website, any website, is your car well parked? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Next website? Yes. Yes. Is it important that your car is well parked? Yes. Okay. So what I'm saying is, what the fuck does it have to do? So who did that? Who is the, people that really don't know anything about the cost of only 3 seconds accepting the cookies? And if you read every time the website, I don't know how much time, but I think every time, every single one of you do that, you summed up time, you multiply by the European population, it's a disaster. Somebody should be in prison for that. My take on that. Yeah,
Let's try to keep people out of prison.
No, let's give an example out of them.
Any other questions? I like this format. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Anyone that loves cookies? I mean,
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, I love chocolate ones.
Chips,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Anything else? Questions? No?
So M&A.
Okay.
When do you acquire? Was kind of when do I acquire and when do you do it organically?
It's always, the answer is it depends, and it's always strategic. So we also tend to do both, as in explore both at any given time. So right now we are exploring a different vertical. Also in the finance space, we have a team that's incubating right now.
Yeah.
And we're also actively, looking at potential deals. And whichever we think is better, optimal, we'll go that way.
Okay. What did they teach you in the MBA that you always will say, don't do it in a company, not going to work? I did an MBA too. Sorry for that, but it's yeah. Or McKinsey is the other guys that also help a lot there. Yeah.
I feel like I know you.
Or pick your favorite consultant.
What did they teach us that we shouldn't?
Yeah. Like always, let me start by one, okay? And let's see if we agree or not. That's okay. Whenever you have a company, let's call Perk, they will always come and tell you, you should diversify, okay? Don't do a single bet in a single product and scale it to the moon, but diversify. They will always say diversify. And I always say, no, double down into what you're doing. But consultants, MBAs, and most part of the people, whenever you talk about the strategy, you will say, hey, let's diversify. I would say no. If it's going well and it's scaling well, scale. It's one trick pony.
Yeah. It depends.
It always depends.
It depends
There's
on.
a nice
It
Spanish
depends
song
on.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on where you are. So, if you are just starting out and you are still finding product market fit, or you've just found product market fit, yeah, you need to double down and make sure it's real and create something that is defensible and a moat. However, if your goal is to become a multi-billion-dollar company at some point, you will need to figure out how you might diversify, because I think there are, of all the millions of SaaS companies that were created, only under 100 of them have become multi-billion-dollar, and none of them have become that by staying in one vertical. They always expand
towards more things, you mean?
Towards more. It might be in the same area.
Yeah.
There are adjacencies, but there are
Yeah.
multi-product opportunities. So
Yeah. So what I mean by that is if you are close to saturation,
Yeah.
you need to diversify, okay? But I don't know your market share within the B2B travel. I don't know if you already got 1%.
There's a lot
I
of
doubt it.
space.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
space, right?
Yep.
So if I think about Google as a search, Google plus DoubleClick plus YouTube, I mean, yeah, maybe it's time
Yeah.
to start diversifying, no? But as far as you got room for growth, I would say keep running. Don't get distracted, and get everybody else diversify.
not necessarily.
No?
No.
You
I
like,
think,
okay.
I think at some point when you have a good handle on your core market
You have to
and
start.
the product, you need to start evolving.
Oh, yeah. I kind of agree
Depending
with
on your ambition.
you. And your consultant.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have 1 minute. Any final statement or any question that you guys have for a what footprint? What would you like us to remember from you or from what you do?
Oh. I think two things. One is this idea of working with humans and teams to create something exceptional,
Yeah.
I think is the most exciting part about doing what we do. And technology is amazing. It is enabling a lot. But this idea of, I was just giving a talk, and I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and a husband who I love, and I spend more time working, right, during the week than I do with them. So it has to be worth it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is about the people that you're building great things with, and
Yeah.
having that alignment, I think, is amazing. And the other is about ambition, right? And I'm not, as I said, not playing the American Europe game. But if you're in venture, you need to be playing to win. Otherwise, you should probably find a different game. And there's something about how do you maintain that in a company as it scales that is really challenging, but I think very, very important.
I love it. I have a 6 and 8 and a 13, and he's dragging me. So, first of all, always follow the law. Whatever idiot do, follow that law. Okay, so
Crush reject. Yeah.
it's now Airbnb wouldn't exist without, flexing, nor does Uber, nor does eDreams when they started, nor does, so everything is challenging the status quo. And one of the things that I really admire from America, by the way, and from all the entrepreneurs in this room, is there is still people willing to challenge the rules positively, to challenge the status quo, to challenge why we're doing the things we're doing. And that's what creates new opportunities. And there are a lot of opportunities ahead. And like the last panel said at the very end, Barcelona with Palma, the amount of technological people that came, the amount of intelligence that we have here, yes, we can do great things, but please unleash us from those tyranny of the laws. Okay? So, and we have all the capacities and all the intelligence to win at a worldwide level, but we need to be unleashed from this tyranny. Okay? So, thanks for your time.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Appreciate it a lot.